don't you fear? We're never alone when Allah's so near. Hush, little baby, breathing so calm. He'll protect us all and keep us from harm. Hush, little baby, still and serene. You are a Muslim, Islam's your deen. Hush, little baby, pure and small.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. In the name of Allah, the most merciful, the most compassionate. This is a new episode under the same theme, which is our schools, are they moving on? We understood from the last episodes, yes, our schools are moving on, but it seems that they are moving on very slowly. We hope to make them move at a quicker speed, inshallah. The last episode we were talking about individual differences and how we handle them in our classes, and we got wonderful comments in the break here, and we are going to re-listen to them again. Please go ahead. Still, we are talking about differentiation and individual differences and how we handle them.
I would just like to comment on the inferiority complex that the children may be having, as the brother pointed out. But can we, do off like when the high achievers, they complete their task, they can help out the average and the low level students to complete or, help them out and create an environment in the class which is healthy.
Good.
So, like we can do away. Can this be done?
Yes. This is, I think, a good idea. But if we do this consistently, we are still not addressing the needs of the high achievers. We can do this from time to time. And this links to this next topic that I'm going to talk about, which is collaborative work. Okay, so we can do this from time to time to help the student, the high achievers, to help the others. Also in a way that they wouldn't feel that they are inferior to them. Again, I think there are different ways that we can deal with this without showing that those students are inferior than others. You can give, as I said, one of the ways is that when you give them homework, you give them 3 or 4 papers, answer as much as you can. So when I get the answer from here, you don't know what the answer from here was. You see what I'm saying? So this is another way of dealing it. But we should address them in a way that we address all their needs and their levels. When we talk about the activities that would happen in every class, we talk about different activities, inshallah, that would help the students to develop his expression ability or his writing ability, or depending on his needs. But also we cannot expect that all students can be on the same level in all skills. It's impossible to have. Even you've seen this among the companions, among the best generation in the world. This is impossible. This is life. But our job is to give the students the maximum that we can give to achieve his potential, to reach where he can reach. We can do that. Yes, any other comment here, or should I move, please?
Yeah, as brother said that maybe a child is introvert. What can be done is, as you rightly pointed out in one of your episodes, you give options to the kid, 10 options, whether you like research, whether you like to attempt a test, whether you like to do this. So then the child comes up and like, okay, he takes up something, and then you take it to that level. First, you're exploring the talent of the child, whatever he has, and then taking in the other aspects.
This is something good. Of course, that's why we said that we give different options. As one student can be a very good presenter, but he cannot memorize. He cannot solve problems, but he's a very good presenter. So we should, celebrate this in this student, and should work on the other skills to improve them, but we still realize that he's good in this and not good at this. Okay, good. Other things, or should we move? Yes.
Well, brother, I believe that our school is much more advanced in this, because from the beginning, the student is being taught on public speaking. So he's never introvert. I believe if he's good at public speaking, he can definitely open up and lay his questions down. So I don't feel that he's back or behind in this quality.
But are you telling me that if I have 20 students, when they make presentation, they are on the same level? Definitely not. I'm quite sure if some of you come here and present what I present, they will present it better than I presented. Yeah, definitely. We are different. You cannot imagine that those 20 people are sitting here can do the same thing at the same skill. but at least I would say that all of them fall within the acceptable, right? But some of them would go a little bit upper than others. Yeah, هذا فضل الله يؤتيه من يشاء. This is the grace and the blessing of Allah. He gives it to whom He wills, right? Even among messengers of Allah, some messengers were not articulate. We know that Musa alayhi salam was not articulate, right? So not everyone is the same, even among the messengers of Allah. However, he is a messenger of Allah, the best human being at his time. We have to understand this. But he's not so articulate. We have to understand some of the realities. Okay, good. Let's move to another one. But before, do you have an important point?
Yeah, one of the points which is uncommon in our country is that there are a lot of students stuffed in one class. Now, if you have to limit the students to an average of about 20 per class, that will be more effective in this differential type of learning which we are discussing about.
Definitely. And that's why we find, I used to teach in one university, in Johns Hopkins University. The maximum number in my classes were 12 students. So I was very lucky, of course. I knew them quite well. But you cannot, not every university in the world is like Johns Hopkins University. You see what I'm saying? So if you get the number to 20, this is amazing. And this is, I advise you, if you can do this, do it. If you can do this, do it. If you can do it, 18, for example, they found that in language studies, found that this is the best number to be in a classroom, in a language of class. If you can limit the number of students to the class, which means that you're going to open another class, another teacher, another cost. Yeah, but again, it's all the time cost versus quality. I like that. Students are fighting against the microphone, which means now they are awake. Everybody's awake. The effect of the T. Okay.
There's a lot of research which is happening on emotional intelligence.
Yeah.
I mean, what sort of material or product we can use for our children in Islamic school?
I'm not an expert on this topic. I would leave it to the people who are smart in emotional intelligence to address it. Okay, I cannot address all the questions. Jazakumullahu khair. Yeah, I will move to a new topic. But before I want to move, I want to review with you who is brave enough to tell me 7 points that at least we cover to see. We agreed that they are qualities of excellent classroom. Well, some people are going back to what they have written. Okay, you can help each other. Each one can say one. Say it one bullet point, very straightforward. The less words, the better. Okay.
I think we covered the individual differences.
Individual, you're getting from the last ones. Okay.
Yeah.
Individual differences, yes. Addressing individual differences, one thing. Okay.
Cross-curriculum links.
Cross-curricular links. You are going backward to forward, yeah. What was the first point that we said? What is the best class, huh? No, before the IT, before the
Interactive challenging.
Interactive challenging, right. Questioning and answering, okay. Another aspect about this interactive challenge, dialogue? Combination of questions. Yes, closed and open-ended question. And the more open-ended, the better, okay. Wonderful. Okay, what else?
Involvement of the students.
Involvement of students. The more students that you involve, the better. Don't focus on few students that all the time you address them. This is the mistake of some teachers, by the way. And they try to deceive even if there are some inspectors or visitors. Yes. And of course, we are expert enough to detect this. Yeah. So when you enter a classroom, you find that the teachers are asking only 3 students to tell the visitor that this is a wonderful class. Okay? So we want you to involve as many students as you can. Okay. What else?
Diagnostic tests.
Diagnostic test. I said that this is not in the exam. You don't see this in the exam. This would help you to, when you are dealing with differentiation, when you differentiate, this is a tool that would help you. Okay?
Combination of knowledge, concepts and skills.
Combination of knowledge, concepts and skills. Wonderful. What else? Comparative. Local, state. Oh yes, these are links, types of links. We said that, so links, let's say links with different types. We mentioned some of them are links between subjects. Some of them is linking all or any subject with Islam. Some of them is linking the past, present, the future. Some of them is linking to their own experience, right? Life experience. Some of them are linking the local, national, global, right? Okay, what else?
Use of technology.
We would add one word here. Effective use of technology. Effective. The key word here is effective. What does it mean? You'd find you get into a classroom, some teachers, most of the teachers do that. First of all, we talk about the students. The students themselves is the one who use the technology. I'll continue after we take a break. Thank you again. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Hush, little baby breathing so calm.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Welcome back after the break. I hope you got an enjoyable break. I hope you got some tea and coffee. Now, we were talking about what we have learned before, how the features or the phenomena or the characteristics of an excellent class, and you mentioned some of them. Would you like to add something? Yes.
Let the students speak more than the teacher.
Okay, I will modify this. What she wants to say, that is the class should be student-centered. It's not necessarily they speak, because they speak, they act, they understand, okay? So, but what we're saying that we don't want the teacher who lectures all the time, as I'm doing now. It's the nature of the lecture that I'm giving, yeah. But in classrooms, this is not a good sign if you find a person is talking all the time, the teacher. So we said that the best one can be 20 for the teacher, right, and 80 for the students. The more is given to the students, the better. Good. Yes.
The teaching should be participative.
Students?
From the both point of view, student and the teacher's point of view.
You said that the interactivity?
Interactive.
You remember when we talked about interactivity, we talked about 3 dimensions, 3-way, right? Teacher, student, student, teacher, student, student. You see? You have to remember this. It's not one way as we used to get in the past. I remember when I was a student, that's why I'm not a good teacher. When I was a student, yeah, I was never given an opportunity, even until high school, to stand in front of the class. I was never given this opportunity. Something is very sad, but anyway.
The teacher should be doing a homework before conducting the
this
class.
Is very important. And the principals love to hear this. Principals love to hear us reminding the teachers that they have to do the homework before they come to the class. They have to prepare for the lesson. I promise that we're going to, inshallah, cover this issue of lesson planning, inshallah, in one whole complete episode. Yes.
The class should be...
Students are talking more than the teachers. Good.
The class should be made interesting by adding some case studies.
The class should be...
The conductance of the class should be made interesting by...
Should be motivating, should be very interesting
by adding case studies, anecdotes, incidents.
Oh, this is from you. We didn't discuss this, but this is something you are adding it. Yes, you need to make the class motivating by any means. By any means. There are different ways. We discussed some of them by changing the media that you are using, right? By changing the activity and the task that you are applying in the class. By saying the personal experience of the students. By making anecdotes, jokes, and other things. You have to make the class vivid and motivating. That's why teachers who love to sleep in the classrooms cannot make their class motivating. I said don't give a microphone to an imam, right? See? Imams cannot leave the microphone. Yeah. What else in the classroom? Yes.
Teachers should be the masters of the textbook and not the slaves of the textbook.
Oh, wonderful. Wonderful. We want to see the teacher is a master of the textbook. What does it mean? It means that he should not go word by word with the book. He should throw the book at a certain time, put it there, and then start, giving opportunities for the students. Give us your personal experience about this. This is away from the textbook, right? So all what we have mentioned is something going beyond the textbook. Very good. Other things?
Motivate questions.
Motivating questions, what do you mean that? Challenging questions?
Not memory-based questions.
Yes. Memory-based question is good because particularly in some subjects where they need to memorize the formulas, where they need to... But there are some subjects that you don't really need to focus on these ones. comprehension, for example. When you give them something to read in English or in Arabic and they are reading, yes, you give them few questions that are memory-based. And then you go to the thinking questions that we gave examples of them yesterday. Questions that would challenge the students to think critically or to criticize. Okay, when you finish your lesson, you ask the students the famous question, which is, now, what's the question that would motivate the students at the end? How would you do it differently? If you are in my place, how would you do this presentation differently? Some person would say that, okay, you would allow other students to speak because some students did not speak. You would say that, okay.
The questions is like why and how.
Yes, these are the open-ended questions. We talked about this. Why? How? What's your opinion? What if this situation? Imaginative question. Something that's student. What if there is no light here? Can we continue the recording? Can we? Some people say no, okay. Some people say yes. So anyway, it's a question to let them think. Right, okay. What else have we learned? Yes? Yes, you have a microphone. Yes, go first, please.
About comparing the students at local level and
to what?
Local level and international
This
level.
is not in the classroom, I said. Our focus now, what are the characteristics of a good studio? What are the characteristics of a good, right, classroom? So the exams are taken outside. Okay, so a characteristic of good classroom, you find many visuals, maps, pictures, things that are important, right? Formulas that are important. Okay, we mentioned something about linking the theoretical and the practical, right? Link the theoretical and the practical, particularly in things like mathematics, said practical mathematics, other subjects even. You can do this, of course, in Islamic things. For example, can you go out now and try to measure the shadow of the sun to tell us that this is the time of noon or not? Students, how you take the watches of the students, put them in their pocket or your own bag, take them home, right, sell them in the market. Anyway, take the watches from the students and then ask them, can anybody prove to me that this is the time of Dhuhr? This is a practical question. They would go and would take, right, a stick and try to see the shadow, right? You want them to think, to challenge them to tell me whether it's noon or not. So this is practical question. This is practical question. And I'm quite sure that you can think of many. And be sure that the students would give you more ideas than any teacher. The students are very flexible. Their brain are very flexible. They think quicker than all of us. So they get most of your ideas from the students. Yes, what else?
Learning contracts and choices between exams, presentation, projects, or research papers.
You combine too many things. Yeah. Choices. A class that gives the student choices is better than a class that does not provide students with choices. When you give students a list of questions and say that select the question that you want and answer it, you're giving them options. Child loves this one, but he doesn't like this one. You see? Choices are important. Don't impose all the things from you. Give them some opportunity to think, to choose, particularly with lower grades, with kindergarten students. The more options that they have, the more choices that they have, the better for them. Some of them love to do practical work. Some of them love to do some other learning. And that's why the Montessori theory, do you know Montessori schools? Montessori schools. They are totally based on play. And have you ever had the chance to see a Montessori school? Yes, would you like to describe? Would you like to comment in one or two?
They have a lot of objects in front of them.
Wonderful.
Because they are small children. Montessori school is basically meant for the nursery level. They have square objects. They learn by practice.
Yeah, they learn by playing, by the way.
Playing.
They learn by playing. So they experiment this game, these toys, these things. Yeah, you enter a class and you find perhaps 20 or more different sets there, different things are happening. And they take students from here after they finish this, they give them another higher level, or they move them to another thing. It's wonderful. wonders. It's very costly, but it addresses the needs of.
It's a practical way of doing it where the length, the short, the long, the thing, they're easily able to identify that.
I would love to tell you something, by the way. Here, you know that what is common nowadays, they say that the earlier you send your child to school, can you complete this phrase or sentence? The earlier you send your child to the school. If you send your child to the school at early age, who can complete the statement? If you send your child at an early age to school,
The faster they learn.
the faster they learn. Who agrees to this? Okay, why do you have kindergarten? Why do we have kindergarten? Yes, we have kindergartens because, I know that people will not be happy to see this on Peace TV. Yeah, because women work and the child is left with nobody, and we want to send the children to schools as early because the father and the mother work. And they made up some research saying that if you send your child at an early age, he will be a smart child and he will be a good learner. And this is not true, by the way. In Finland, this year, the most advanced country in education nowadays, they found that the students join the school at the age of 7. At the age of 7 years old. And I want everybody in the world to hear that. So they taught us something wrong for some purposes. And we are paying off this now. They think that children, when they go to school, they learn quicker and faster, and this is not true. Once the child starts to think like an adult, his opportunity to develop his intelligence becomes smaller. If a child comes here and sits like you, he is no longer a child. If a child comes here and jumps from one desk to another, yes, he is a child. If he starts to think like a grown-up person, you have deprived him from what is necessary for his age at that time to develop his intelligence. This contradicts many research and theories that have been implanted by force in our brains. It is not true. And in fact, the more, and that's why this school, Montessori school, is based on playing. They're trying to make the classroom as natural as possible, to give the students opportunities to experiment. They found that the students who learn or who live in villages and open places are smarter than students who stay in very small apartments or rooms. Yes, if you're given money, if you have money, yes, invest it in a spacious house for your family. This may be one of the things that if you have money, don't spend it on cars, spend it on your house. Spacious house. Not a house that's full of furniture. Make it open spaces as much as possible. Yes, for the kids to exercise their life. This is the life. A child, a 3-year-old child, when he or she gets into the mosque, she should run. If she doesn't run, she lost the ability to think as a child. Anyway, many things that we need to review. I'm not telling you that close the kindergarten because parents will be unhappy with you. You have to change the mind first. And this is our job, to direct them to the right thing. Jazakumullahu khairan. I hope you benefited from this. Inshallah, next time we will add a new dimension to the excellent classes. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu.
Little baby, pure and small, he created you, he created us all. Hush, little baby, don't you feel